Hey, what's up, guys? I'm making this video to answer some questions about why my gun looks weird in MW3. Now, all it is a vault video or an infection glitch that you can find in the vault. I call it pro mod, that's usually what it's referred to. Sometimes the video calls it fake FOV. There's a few different vault clips that you'll find out there floating around. It's been around since 2012, maybe early 2013. And a lot of people have it in their vault. All it does is you load the video, and you don't even have to watch the whole thing in the film, and you have that effect on your weapons until you restart the game or your console. Now, there's a lot of different clips out there that do this. All of them are either called pro mod infection, fake FOV, something like that. Sometimes they say no recoil in them. That's not true. It doesn't take away the recoil. A lot of people actually use it because they think it does. It's not true at all. Now, another thing, it doesn't actually increase your FOV. It's usually why it's referred to as fake FOV in some of these clips. You're still playing on 65 field of view, just like every other console player on MW3. All it does is change the XY position of the weapon in your hands to make it a little bit further out, and in return it makes the iron sights smaller. And it makes a lot of weapons that have bad iron sights a lot more usable because they're a little bit smaller, and ADSing and aiming is just a lot easier with stuff like the M16 or the G36. And there's a little bit of a placebo effect that just because your gun looks a little different and it's further out and not used to it, you start feeling like you're playing better. I know that's usually why I started using it, but over time you realize it's just an illusion, you see through it, and most people end up going back to playing without it. I bounce back and forth. I'd say about 75% of the time though I'm using it, just because I've been using it since I found it in late 2012. And I know a couple of my friends used to use it. Now they've drifted back to not using it. Personally, I think it affects my accuracy a lot, and that's why I drift back to not using it. And anytime I change things up, I find that I play better because I don't want to be doing the same thing and using the same stuff, because I'll get stuck in a rut and end up playing like shit after a while of doing the same shit. But yeah, I just want to clear up some stuff about that. You'll see in some of these clips, I'll be loading a couple of the various videos that will give you the pro mod infection, and then I'll go into private match in these clips and show you the difference between with it and without it. And yeah, so again, just to reiterate, doesn't change your FOV, just changes how the gun looks. Doesn't give you no recoil, still recoil. There's no physical difference to the weapon stats or to the amount of the world that you can see in the map. Now, do I think it's an advantage? Yes and no. I don't normally think it's an advantage unless you're using a weapon like the M16 or the G36, where you don't have to spend a point on red dot. You don't have to waste an attachment slot on red dot, because those weapons are usually pretty hard to use with iron sights normally. So pro mod really makes that kind of an advantage when you're using those weapons. But when it comes down to it, it's going to depend on the player. I don't think this is like a make or break thing. It's not going to turn you instantly good. I drop moves with it, I drop moves without it. I get shit on with it, I get shit on without it, And I've been playing this game since 2011. Got 60 days on it, damn near. I don't notice a single difference when I'm using it versus when I'm not using it after all this time. I did when I first started using it, but then I saw through the illusion, and it's just like, oh, well, sometimes this feels nicer to use. So that's about it, and I hope I cleared up some of the questions that you guys had about what was going on with the funny looking gun. If you guys have any more, just leave a comment and I'll try my best to answer them.